The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the episode of the Earnestly podcast. I'm your host, Ernest E.J. Christian, coming to you on a Wednesday afternoon, South Florida. On the line, of course, probably the last weekly Studio Game Report. We'll see how it goes going forward, but he'll be on quite a few times in the offseason, though. But the NFL season's officially over. Super Bowl 53 in the books. I enjoyed the game, Kyle. I don't know about you. I actually enjoyed the game.
No, it wasn't a horrible game to watch. Listen, man, I mean, if you're gonna see, so there's two extremes. There's these people who are like, oh, the game is boring, and they're dumb. But then there's the Trey Wingos of the world. If you thought the game was boring, shut up. Get off my lawn. Where's my dentures? Okay.
So where do you stand on that then? So then are you on the Trey Wingo side of things, or are you on the more casual?
No. I think with like many things in life, my friend, there's a line somewhere in the middle. Okay, like you popped on Facebook with your goofy stuff. Oh, this is a great game. Slow your roll. It's a good game. It's not a great game. You want a great game? Talk to me about Steelers Cardinals. That was a great game. This was a good game. And the fact that the Rams defense came out and did what they did, and the Patriots defense came out and did what they did, was both very impressive in their own individual right. Don't get me started on the poor assessment of the MVP, but that is a whole situation where that was defense, and defense is part of the game, and if you don't like watching it, you are in fact part of the problem. Although, in fairness, the Super Bowl is marketed to the casual fan, not the hardcore guy who would appreciate a defense. So this is why you're getting what you're getting in the response of, oh, it was a boring game.
Yeah. Well, for the record, and I've said this for years, and I remain staunch on this topic. I'm the guy that could do away the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm the guy that could do away all the fucking build-up throughout the week. I'm the guy I can listen to Tony Romo talk at halftime. Well, it won't be him. It'll be like probably, well, in this case, it'd be like what James Brown and Boomer Esiason in the studio. I'll take that in over all the distractions around the game, personally. That's just my opinion. I mean, I get what a Super Bowl is. I'm a curmudgeon when it comes to shit like this, though.
Well, I'll be real, dude. Like, I really think they should consider making it a pregame or postgame affair rather than halftime. But that's never going to happen.
I agree. Too much money to be made. You know. You say you had a problem with the MVP, which was Julian Edelman.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And these people like you who think Julian Edelman is a great pick are one of these people who are also slaves to numbers. Numbers do, can, and will lie, contrary to popular belief. Here's the point I'm getting to. There are people who are involved with actually assessing who the MVP of the game is, Ernest Christian. Not a single one, not one of them, even named one single defensive player. Not one defensive player got a vote, and you and I both know the defense won that game.
Well, you know,
that is stupid, and that is ridiculous.
Well, you know, I did say
and
that.
Don't hand me this team argument crap either. Okay.
I mean, you could have said Van Noy. You could have said Dante Hightower could have won that. Obviously, Gilmore had a shot there too, in my opinion. Yep. So we're not far off on the assessment. But of course, the easier play is Edelman because of the numbers. And by the way, I'm not disagreeing with you because.
Yeah.
There was a fear.
Even though you were up there on Facebook saying that Edelman was great and the perfect pick and the only pick and all this other stuff. Now you're going to double back on your own show, but okay.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Oh, boy.
Let me read my
text message.
Let me read my tweet right now. I want to be proven right here because, yeah.
That was on Facebook, but that's okay. Huh? I mean, you post all over Facebook so much, it'd be hard for you to keep track of it. So I could see how you would have forgot.
Maybe I'm lying. I don't know. No, but what I was saying was that Edelman, well, first off, my fear was Brady would have gotten it because of numbers, when in fact, the numbers that Brady got was on Yak, which means Edelman gets more credit for that than Brady should.
Well, and I forget, did he have one pick or two picks?
Yeah, one pick.
Okay. So it's not terrible, but you know, he had an opportunity to get a second one, but that you can't hold that against Brady for the Rams to drop the ball. So,
well, this is what I said on Facebook on Sunday. All right, here's the quote, Kyle. from Sunday night at 10:44 p.m. on Facebook for all listeners who may want to go back on my Facebook and read that to be clear that I'm not lying about this. I said, quote, Julian Edelman absolutely deserves Super Bowl MVP, but that Patriots defense equally deserved it as well. Unquote.
Okay. You can't have it both ways, kid. This is the Highlander, son. There can be only one. So by saying that Edelman deserves it, you have thus negated the defense.
Do you know to this day I've not seen the movie yet?
It's kind of overrated, but I digress.
No, the reason I want to see it now is
because music is where it's at.
That's what I'm saying. The entire kind of Magic album is the soundtrack of that movie, pretty much.
Oh, hell yes. And let's be clear, man. When they're talking about the princes of the universe, that's like kind of a Queen
you mean my
biographical...
you mean my all-time favorite Queen song? Yeah, go ahead.
So here we are,
we're the princes of the universe. Fucking Freddie.
It's like, and it's so great because there's like 3 songs within that song. Like, it's all over the place. It's the only song that varies more... Even more than Bohemian Rhapsody, by the way, would be Innuendo, which no one has ever heard of, but it's great.
Amazing.
You tell me how a rock band fits in a damn Spanish guitar solo in the middle of this shit. How does that happen? How does it happen?
By the way, my favorite album of theirs too, Innuendo, was that's their last album before he died. So,
yeah. Now I'm sad.
I know. Fuck, what's wrong with you, man? Let's see. Okay, so. We got a problem with Edelman MVP. And you know what? I'm not going to say you're wrong. Because there were so many heroes. I think the reason they went this route, because there were so many heroes on defense.
Because of the number.
No. You're right. What I'm saying to you is this. There were so many heroes you could actually, really consider on defense. Van Noy, Hightower, Gilmore. You couldn't give it to Brady. I'm sorry. Cannot give it to Brady in that spot. Brady was not great. Brady made plays when he had to, but he was not great throughout the game. Okay, Edelman got it because he made plays after the catch. Brady should get credit for that. You know what I mean? You and I will see eye on that one. Definitely.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I think it
well,
was easier to
Edelman if the question is Edelman a better candidate than Brady, then yeah, obviously.
There we go.
Let's not get dumb.
So we're on the same page then. There we go. Because I guarantee you.
But
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go.
Oh, okay. So, but the punchline is this. If you're going to give it to anybody on the offense, you got to give it to Gronk. He made the biggest catch being the broadside of the barn again in a game where he's finally healthy enough to be in the game the whole stupid time to make a play late, by the way. He also contributed in the run game, which Edelman does not do to the same extent. Don't hand me this. Okay? And by the way, further proof that they're just looking at numbers, Edelman may have gotten open a lot, may have made a few great plays on plays that didn't amount to dick for points. Why are we still talking about this guy? And don't get me started on these morons that want to try to tell me Edelman's a damn Hall of Famer.
Oh, my God, yes. Thank you, Kyle. And, it's funny.
You know how many yards he has in his career?
5,000?
5,600.
Yeah, some of that, yeah.
5,600.
Yeah.
You know how many yards Jimmy Smith has in his career? A guy that everybody should hear of but hasn't? 10,000 plus.
Right. You know why he won't get in, though, right? It's very simple. I mean, people are going to try to make a case for the rings, but this is why I keep telling people all the time about the Hall of Fame. It's not a team award. It's an individual award. It's an individual award. It's what you did as an individual player. Wes Welker has a better chance to get in than Edelman. He won't get in probably either.
Well, yeah, well, so let's dial that back. Wes Welker has a better chance. That depends. Okay? Hall of Fame, on the whole, there's a lot of flaws in every Hall of Fame process. Baseball is still by far the worst.
Don't give me on baseball. That is by far the worst. Yeah, by far. Not even close. Bunch of curmudgeon.
Yeah, and that's without even bringing in the drug bull crap. I mean, I know you'll have your biases because you're partial towards Barry Bonds for reasons I can't exactly fathom. But
you need to chill.
I did like him before he got big. I'll put it that way. I actually had a Barry Bonds poster on my wall from SI for Kids.
Pirates or Giants?
But I digress. What's that?
Pirates or Giants? Which one? Which team?
Oh, he was a Pirate.
Okay. Skinny Bonds. Really skinny Bonds.
Exactly. So I'm trying to tell you. You could actually see his gold chain. It didn't look like, somebody dropped some gold dust from eating a meal or something. Anyway.
Oh, gold dust. Hey. Dustin Rhodes.
No, I am not pivoting to the WWE. Can we move on, please?
I'm not trying to. You're throwing. Look, you're throwing out all the superlatives here. I'm just here trying to give you some credit for it. What do you want me to do about that?
Well, hey, I don't need your credit. I got talent, but I appreciate it.
Oh boy. And the other reason why you won't get in. There's been only 9 receivers in I think almost 20 years that have gotten in the Hall of Fame. I have to do some more research on this too myself, but there are only a few. I believe that there's certain a number of players can get a year. Certain amount of, let me rephrase that. There are only a certain number of players that can get inducted a year. Okay, you're not accounting for
correct.
Also not you. People are not accounting for the ones that are blatantly obvious. So there are players who will cut the line. Peyton Manning will cut the line in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Brett Favre cut the line a couple years ago. You have guys like Andre Reed, like Art Monk, Chris Carter, who at that point when he retired was considered a top 3 receiver all time. Okay, and he took multiple years before he got in. Okay, T.O. obviously.
He didn't get in until 2013.
Obviously, the T.O. thing is definitely a lot more personal than it is results oriented. So to even consider, first off, for Edelman to even get considered Hall of Fame, it may take him. If we even having this discussion, it may take him about 10, 15 years before he gets looked at.
To which he shouldn't be. I mean, listen, if there's going to be a line for a guaranteed number line to where a receiver should basically, air quotes, automatically get in, it should be 10,000 receiving yards.
It's really this simple for me, Kyle. If I got to think about it, you're not a Hall of Famer. I'm just saying.
I don't think that's exactly fair, but I see where you're coming from, and I like the concept. I think it's just an inch too harsh.
Well, in other words, when you play
wasn't the MVP of 2017, so I'm aware you're going to lean a little bit more harsh on something.
Let me be clear this one, too, because I'm going to be for the guys that play in the trenches because they don't get a lot of love because they don't get talked about. When you play a glorified position like receiver, quarterback, even defensive back, you know what I mean? If I have to think about it, no.
But let's be honest, though. If you watch the game, no one thought about it when Larry Allen or Jonathan Ogden got in alongside of Bill Parcells and Chris Carter. Yeah. No one was pissed about that.
Because they're all-time greats.
So, you didn't have to think about that either.
Right, but it took, common sense voters, voters who may know the game well. But I'm talking even for the average football fan. I'll give a pass on offensive linemen and even some defensive linemen. But if you play a glorified position like a linebacker also too and all that, if I gotta think about it, you're not in. Edelman's not getting into the Hall of Fame. He'll have to have a phenomenal next 3-4 years to even have a chance. I mean, people, and this is what I hate too. People's comeback is this: oh, we have straight rings. Again, it's not a fucking team award. It's individual.
You kind of blow my mind a little bit when you play that game, and yet you still want to still try to tell me Brady's the GOAT because of rings, but I move on.
Made my bed, right? Well, you already know I feel about Brady. The Brady thing is more so the fact that he makes his team better. That's all I'm saying. He elevates their play, and to me, there's a lot of things there.
Do you understand how bad you sound when Rob Parker is making more sense than you?
Do not compare Rob Parker. Right, Rob Parker's a fucking clown.
Yeah, but he's smarter than you on this topic.
No, Robert, he's a fucking idiot. And I say that respectfully because I follow him on Facebook. We follow each other on Facebook, actually. You probably delete me if you heard this fucking podcast if you ever did.
Don't make him cry. It'll be sad.
Fuck him. Oh, well,
he better not play. Hey, Rob Parker, I've got no problem with you. I mean, I get that you like to put on the show, but I have no problem with that, especially with the way you're ticking off Ernest Julius Christian right now.
Yes, whatever.
I'm sorry, Ernest Julio Christian. My bad.
So now I'm getting Russell Wilson treatment now? This is great.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you are an all-time great, aren't you?
Can I be honest, though, real quick? And you probably agree with me on here, too?
Okay.
The real MVP here in this game was Bill Belichick.
Duh. Next question. Actually, you really know who the real MVP of this game was for the Patriots?
Brian Flores?
D. Brown for lining up in the neutral zone in the AFC Championship game and allowing him to even effing be there. Case closed.
D. Ford. He's probably a Patriots mole. I don't know. No. This is Belichick's best performance as a Patriots coach. His best Super Bowl performance since Super Bowl 25 with the Giants.
That's bold. I don't know that I would go quite that far, but it was pretty good.
I'm just saying.
I mean, when you look at it, hey, here's our defense. Shut down the run and send exotic blitzes that'll confuse the young guy. That's not particularly tough. I would argue he coached better facing the Chiefs than he did the Rams.
The thing is, though, he was consistent for 4 quarters with it. Mahomes eventually broke it down, was able to get the team back in the game. Whereas in this game, in the Super Bowl, this is a situation where, okay, I mean, again, raise your hand if you had the Rams scoring 3 points in the fucking Super Bowl. I mean, that's insane.
I mean...
And by the way, the Pats didn't even play all that great on offense. Well, they moved the ball, but they didn't finish drives. So this was still a game all the way throughout. So Belichick's actual margin of error was still pretty thin.
Yeah, no, agreed. I mean, listen, a defense that comes away from a game holding a team to 13 points and losing, listen, if I'm driving, once I'm out of the speeches and I'm driving home in the car all by myself, especially after the Super Bowl, I am cursing the offense out because I did my job and then some on the world's biggest friggin' football stage, and y'all bitches couldn't get any more than 3 goddamn points. Mm-hmm. Come the hell on.
And for the record, Wade Phillips, Coach Greg game also too. Let's go to the Rams real quick. I mean, simply put, McVay got coached there.
I know that's going to be the tagline, but honestly, with Goff looking like a deer in the headlights, I can't put it all on McVay.
Right.
I mean, you can only coach so much. At some point, the damn guy's got to play. And listen, a guy who's 100 billion years old versus a guy who's 100 seconds old, I mean, and I'm not trying to say that Goff is bad. I'm just trying to say that Mahomes is better.
That's not even in play. But here's what I find fascinating about people in social media and people in the media at large too. People at the as we say, the lamestream media. Jared, and I tweeted about this earlier today. Jared Goff's stock has fluctuated so much, high and low, in a span of 2 weeks. Against New Orleans, his stock could be higher at that point, and now he sucks all of a sudden now because he had a bad Super Bowl game. Strange.
I mean, listen, maybe Jeff Fisher was onto something with limiting Jared Goff.
Oh, here we go. The Jeff Fisher
during his rookie year.
Defense.
No, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying it may not be. The answer's somewhere in the middle. I'm not telling you he handled it perfectly. Right. Let's not be stupid, EJ Christian. But maybe there was a method to his madness that was there. Of course, he didn't execute it perfectly. Of course, listen, when the running back's going, the damn offense is too simple. Maybe that's the problem. He obviously oversimplified it. What I'm telling you is what may have gotten him to that point to think that was the move was Jared Goff may actually not have been ready as a rookie. So for all intents and purposes, he's just now getting to a level where Mahomes was as a rookie, for example, in his first year sitting behind Alex Smith. Mm-hmm. And we'll never have seen Mahomes struggle because he had that year to get right under Alex Smith.
I mean, it's a good point. It's a good point you're making there. We've seen more good golf than bad now in 2 years. So, I I get the analogy and the example, but golf has been, and let's put it this way, golf's played 3 full years of football. Well, almost 3 full years of football, should I say. And he's been good. He's been better than bad. Been more good than bad.
Agree, but to take where some of the low points were, right? Was it anybody like the Eagles beat the Rams in a shock? What happened against, what Belichick probably did? He took the tape from
the Bears game
when he played against the NFL Coach of the Year, Matt Nagy, like we called 10 weeks ago at least. Mm-hmm.
Although
looks at that tape and goes, I can do that.
But wasn't a narrative there too back then? Also, the cold weather was an issue. I mean, that's why it's kind of
that was part. Well, and that was part of it, which is why maybe this is why they scored 3 points. But here's the thing. If you're Belichick, and Matt Nagy's an offensive guy, and he still managed to shut down and put together a game plan that shut down what would eventually be a team that averages 33 points a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Belichick has a blueprint like that. He's going to be able to take that and then kind of morph it to fit his squad. Because this is the difference between Belichick and everybody else. We've seen the Patriots come out with multiple different, air quotes, systems and methodologies. They came out first running the ball a lot, in the Brady days, of course, running the ball a lot because he was still plenty young, and then they kind of opened up the book more. Then when they got better receivers and lesser-known running backs, instead of an air quotes run game, what they would often do is make a screen pass or a bubble screen, their run game. It was just essentially an extended handoff that went through the air rather than an actual handoff to a running back. Then as Brady's getting older, they're going back to young Brady, handing it to Sonny Michel, quicker passes, et cetera, et cetera. And that's not even to get into all the defensive stuff they've moved around. I mean, I'm pretty sure when Belichick got there, they were a straight-up 3-4.
I'm just glad you and I just killed that Edelman debate for Hall of Fame. I'm just glad we crushed that, because if I hear one more Edelman Hall of Fame campaign going, I'm going to smack somebody, seriously.
I mean, to be honest, for your PR with me, the Edelman argument is the best thing that could have happened, because somebody out there is making a dumber point about the Patriots than your Brady fellatio. So you win.
That was funny.
I thought you'd like that.
You like getting aggravated with you sometimes. You know why I get aggravated with you also? Because I get the same shit from my wife every time with the Brady stuff. Like, you want to marry that guy? You want to go?
Well, yeah, but hey, hold on. She has an excuse, man. Listen. She's just trying to save her. She loves you, and she's just trying to keep your marriage working. And it's very difficult to do when you're smitten with somebody else.
Well, when you put it that way, I mean, come on now. I mean, what are you gonna do? All right, so. One of the debates that came out of this game, I mean, this has been debated even before the game, but certainly now with Tom Brady getting number 6, this thing about who's had a better career. And I saw another one person that entered the discussion. Now, I've said it on the record that, to me, Tom Brady is on the Mount Rushmore of American athletes now at this point. Okay? Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and now Tom Brady. In your opinion, who's had the better career, Jordan or Brady?
Well, first of all, you already know, abstractly speaking, why that's a difficult conversation, right? Like, how are you actually doing that? Really, the performance on the field /court / playing a venue is only one part of that aspect. Michael Jordan was a sensation in a way that Brady just couldn't have been. And it's not Brady's fault, because basically American football is still limited to America, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like trying to compare this analogy is probably going to suck, but I'm going to give it a shot. It's trying to compare, let's say, like Michael Jackson to, I'm going to say, I can't think of a great example here. Let's pick a country artist, like Michael Jackson compared to Garth Brooks, great one. The advantage Michael Jackson has as the king of pop is the international exposure.
That's an excellent analogy.
Jordan.
Buddy.
Oh, thank you.
That's an analogy.
Garth Brooks, so, that's, in the words of Tenacious D, that's fucking teamwork, So the international exposure was there with Jordan, whereas, on top of the fact that Brady didn't advertise himself that much as a youth and is not as well known as a personality, you would only really see him in Super Bowl coverage,
That's correct.
Whereas with Jordan, be like Mike, drink Gatorade, Nike, the dunk contest, even as a youth, before it was, who's this Brady kid that's coming in for Bledsoe who got hurt,
Yeah.
Now, you knew who Michael Jordan was long before he started winning championships, because he was struggling as a one-man team and winning dunk contests over Dominique Wilkins, though I still maintain Wilkins won that. But
I do too, by the way. Yes, I agree with you.
But Jordan also had the dream team, and under David Stern, that really hit the international piece on the head. And again, a disadvantage Brady has. He doesn't have the Olympics to further his image, lacking a better way to put it. And then there's the simple things, too. You're going to recognize Jordan walking on the street. You will recognize Brady on the street now, but younger, these guys all have helmets on their faces. It obscures the people from getting to know who they are exactly, especially in the international case. You know, I'll put it this way. Brady has so many disadvantages going into the Mount Rushmore piece because it's not just about performance on the field. It's really not a fair comparison. But I would also add, on top of everything else, in basketball, it's a sport of individuals. One guy can carry a team. Just ask LeBron James recently, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas in football, you have to have other pieces to succeed. And when Brady did not have, until lately, when Brady did not have a Hall of Fame caliber defender on defense, he was in trouble. What do you mean, Cal? Well, look at Ty Law, Lawyer Malloy, Richard Seymour, Vince Wilfork, Teddy Bruschi, Roosevelt Colvin, though he's probably not a Hall of Famer, he's still a really good linebacker, Junior Seau, who actually lost the game. But and then going all the way up to Darrelle Revis, even in the victory against the Seahawks. In 6 Super Bowls, 4 of them, off the top of my head, 4 of them featured defensive Hall of Famers. And that's not even getting into Asante Samuel's role in the Super Bowls that they lost, where they went 18 wins with 1 giant loss, right?
Right. I like that.
So, I mean, it's not fair for Brady in that instance. And then, listen, I don't care how many rings at that point, too, although in that case I think it's more of a factor than assessing who's the GOAT. I think Jordan is the GOAT for more intangible reasons, but it's still really close, right? And it has nothing to do with this, LeBron lost finals. No, if anything, that's
I will say this, though.
Jordan.
I will say that with Tom Brady, and I think Jordan is not even close, personally. But when you consider the fact that Brady is even in the conversation, considering the disadvantages he has of the league he plays in, of the fact that it's really only a sport that's popular in this state, maybe in this country, rather. Obviously, other countries do watch football to some degree, but nowhere on the level of basketball or soccer. You know what I'm saying? Football, as we know it here, is not popular outside the United States of America. Let's just put it that way. That's a fact. So marketing,
it's impressive.
Marketing outside of the NFL is outside the States is really difficult. So the fact that Brady's even getting consideration for being that guy on that level of Ali, obviously you know Muhammad Ali, or probably the greatest athlete, probably the most popular athlete in the history of sports. Okay, based on and out ring accomplishments and impact. So the fact that you're even in that conversation speaks volumes to Tom Brady's greatness. But yeah, I agree with 100% though. What you said, everything you said there, I agree.
Yeah, and I'll punchline it with this, man. Like Brady isn't even the most famous football. I would still think at this point Peyton Manning is still more recognized than than Tom. You know,
I would agree. Again, marketing. I agree with the marketing and commercials. He's more relatable.
Appearing on Saturday Night Live, etc.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. So yeah, I like your answer there. It was actually a good answer. All right.
And Manning's hurt because they considered Manning a choke artist, even though all the games Brady's lost on the biggest stage too. But I digress.
We'll say this though: Peyton Manning lost one Super Bowl like on that pick 6 to Tracy Porter. That's a bad look. And then
it's also a bad look to drop a pass that was crucial in the early game that ended up making the difference at the end of it, even though that play should have never been called.
Well, I mean,
the only reason why it's not the worst offensive play call in all of Super Bowl history is because Pete Carroll is a thing.
Duly noted. No, you're not wrong. You're not necessarily wrong there either. I'm just saying. Okay. I wanted to go over some of the Super Bowl odds real quick for next season. According to this list, the Pats are still, again, the favorites to return to the Super Bowl. Not a surprise when you consider the fact that they have, going to this NFL draft, they're going to have 12 picks, 6 in the first 3 rounds. So they're in position to actually get younger, possibly get better. They got guys they drafted this year. One of the offensive linemen who got hurt in August, missed the season. He'll be back this year. So, to me, as long as Tom Brady's healthy, as long as the O-line plays great, as they did, especially in the playoffs, it's hard to not see the Patriots at least back in the AFC title game. Maybe in the Super Bowl. I'll go that. I won't guarantee
especially with
Super
that
Bowl.
conference in the state that it's in.
Right. I mean, which teams are you considering really to challenge them? I mean, you have the Chiefs. I mean, there will be more tape from Mahomes. I expect a little bit of a drawback from Mahomes next year. The Colts should be.
I do too.
Huh?
I do too.
The Colts should be good next. I think better next year. We'll see if Houston.
That will depend on the draft.
Yeah, let's see how it was, and free agency too. They got a lot of cap from also Houston. Let's see, they have a really solid roster, but you got to get that line fixed. But maybe they get better. Maybe they learn some things here. I mean, it's weak. A lot of question marks. The Steelers are still a fucking mess. So again, the Pats are the most stable team right now, still in that conference.
Here's the two teams I'm most worried about challenging the Pats. Three, I'll say, because I got to give KC their due. Andy Reid is a good enough coach to rally back in a game that he did technically win the first time if it wasn't for Dee Ford, to rally back and get to a point where he would at least eliminate the Pats before they would get to the AFC Championship game. Though, frankly, I don't see how anybody in the AFC West competes with the Chiefs this time, especially since I'm fairly certain Phillip Rivers is going to retire. If he doesn't, well, let's just say I am not impressed by the coaching job from the Los Angeles standpoint at any rate. And I mean the Chargers, obviously, not the Rams. The Colts and the Texans are a draft away from being an awesome team. And by the way, Bill O'Brien, listen, aside from what he did at Penn State, getting handed the whole crap surrounding the scandal and doing what he did and that program being basically kept alive on his shoulders, and then doing what he's done now that he finally has a quarterback in Houston, points to him. I think one of those two teams coming out of that division, if not both of them, making the playoffs is a factor. I'm never ruling out a Harbaugh if they have a good draft and get some nice blood in there to make Lamar Jackson serviceable and get that defense back into where it was before, granted on trees, but I think the Ravens could very well take that division. The Browns are going to have a slide. Get over yourselves. Saquon Barkley was the Rookie of the Year. Shut your face, Cleveland fans. Shouts to Rob Cobb and Lamont Broadus. And other than that, who is there in the AFC?
Well, here are the odds so far. The Patriots are number one odds to get back to Super Bowl, as well as the Rams. So based on according to OddsShark, we should have a rematch next year based on the odds. The Rams,
and the Rams are not going to be the same team at all. That was a very poor place.
They were all in this year, maybe next year. This is a 2-year window for the Rams, really, to be honest with you. I mean, and maybe even smaller than that, depending who they keep on this roster moving forward. They got to start paying guys soon. Jared Goff is up for a deal, I think, after next year. Who knows if they extend him now? Who knows if they extend him, give him a contract now? Which they will at some point, but it's a matter of when. Chiefs, not surprising, in third, but tied with the Chiefs in third is the Chargers. So there's a belief that the Chargers could get back to the spot again. Huh?
That's a bad take. I wouldn't even touch that. Considering the fact that there's enough of a struggle for them to even stay healthy.
There you go. I'm totally with you. I'm surprised they're even that high. They have the Saints. I'm surprised the Colts are not higher on this list. They are there. They're number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Colts should be higher than the Saints. Drew Brees is fading fast, and of course, you're assuming he doesn't retire.
Right. I'm with you 100%. The Bears are plus 1,200.
Yep.
Steelers plus 1,600. The Packers plus 1,800, which I'm surprised they're still that high, considering how bad they were this year, even with Rodgers. But whatever. Then you got the Cowboys, Vikings, and Eagles at plus 2,000, which I don't. Eagles should be much higher than this, but honestly, in my opinion.
There's so much disarray; it's hard to read. I can see why they did it.
I understand that, but they were when they got healthy, they almost got to the fucking conference championship. You know what I mean?
When they got healthy, yeah, but they weren't healthy at the most important position, and they've declined Foles has declined the option on his contract, so he may not be there. That's dependent.
Wait.
Dependent on if they can get their match shot.
Slow. Wait. Nick Foles, they picked him his option. They're picking it up.
Foles declined it
When did that happen?
recently. I think it was today.
Let me make sure. Yeah, because that happened.
At least as reported by BlueHQ's sports media passes, Dalton Tinklenberg.
Okay. You could be right. He's buying. Yeah, he's buying it. You're right. Yeah, he's avoiding his option.
So if they don't end up with Foles again, now you know why they're at plus 2,000.
They can hit him back with a $25 million franchise tag, though, if they choose to. But he's going to take a chance on the open market. Okay.
You're going to franchise a mofo and backup quarterback? Oh, my gosh, the lamestream media will go precisely ape shiz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good job. Breaking news from Kyle Nash again. Thank you. Did not know that.
Hashtag talent. Hey, give credit to Dalton Tinklenberg. He's the one who gave it to me.
You know what's funny? This happened yesterday. This wasn't even big news. This has been bigger news. I don't understand.
You should have been bigger news.
Huh?
I said you should have been bigger news.
I agree. I mean, but seriously, but why is it? But Kyle, seriously, why isn't this bigger news? Why did I not even get a alert from the Bleacher Report saying this happened? This is huge.
Well,
I mean,
because your boys in the lame stream are too busy slurping Brady. That's why. Listen, I'm not even talking trash on you. That's what's happening.
No, I'm with you 100% because the Eagles' quarter situation is one that is probably the biggest storyline in the offseason right now. When they announced they were going to pick it up, that was huge news.
I agree.
Again, the lamestream media dropping the ball again. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well.
The CeeLo Green defense. I love it.
Yeah. All right, what did I miss here? Okay, before I let you go, I wanted to talk about, my little notes here. We're doing some live. We're doing a live, not live radio actually here, but okay, the NFL awards. I have zero problem with anything they did here on the awards show. In fact, the only issue I have is the MVP, and not so much who won the MVP, but who's number 2 with MVP. It should be Andrew Luck, not Drew Brees. Hate to break it to you, not you, but everybody else.
Oh, these morons who put Brees are completely stupid.
Thank you.
Yeah, it wouldn't have matched what I put in some places, but to say I have a problem with it, no, that's vastly stupid. Mahomes, again, has a lot of help in a lot of key positions. And, when they did eliminate Tyreek Hill in the first half, it was interesting to see Mahomes shake, move, rattle, and come around to keep the Chiefs in the game, despite the fact their offensive performance was basically one half in general of what the Patriots were doing. Yeah, the Patriots dominated the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game in all categories except the score. So, and that was basically solely on his shoulders of making an adjustment. Sure, he missed a throw that would have been a nice wheel route for a touchdown in the first half, but
right.
I mean, he was under duress. It was a tough throw. It's not like he threw 3 interceptions, even one of them called back to win the game. Mahomes is a fine choice, but I don't. Also, I'm a believer in you don't give the MVP. You don't have an MVP and then turn around and give him Offensive Player of the Year as well. I like those awards to be divided up, but that's just me.
Yeah. Rookie of the Year, they got it right. Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. No problem there. Chris Long, Walter Payton Award. No problem there. Darius Leonard, Defensive Rookie of the Year. No problem there at all for me.
None at all. I mean, when you consider what the Colts defense was, hey, credit to Frank Reich as well. He should have gotten some votes for Coach of the Year, but Matt Nagy getting it also nailed it like Ron Jeremy.
Mm-hmm. Again, I have zero issues with anybody on these awards. Like I said, the only issue I had was Drew Brees being number 2 beyond Mahomes. I think Andrew Luck was number 2.
And Luck was comeback player of the year exactly as he should have been as well.
Yes, he did get that. Yes, he did get that. Right.
Yeah. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And to be honest, the only in other years I may have been like, why didn't you give it to J.J. Watt? He was out with injury and came back to be number 2 in sacks in the NFL after you tried to tell me he was dead. I can't make that argument. Why? I thought Andrew Luck was dead.
You did. In fact, we did shows on this in August saying we don't know, we gotta see, and then and even I was saying even they were 1-5, I was saying, well, he's playing really good. They suck this year, and then they turned the fucking season around, make the playoffs. and win a playoff. No, they didn't win a playoff game, did they? No. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they beat
Houston.
They beat the Texans.
Yeah, beat Houston, right? So I mean,
who had the number 3 candidate in a comeback player of the year as well, and Deshaun Watson. You know, I'm on record in early August with the DolphinsWire making a comment that the Dolphins would probably see these two teams facing a backup because neither quarterback may be healthy.
Mm-hmm. Was did Frank rank number 2 behind Nagy at least?
I didn't see those votes, but he damn well should have.
Hope he did. We'll see. Anyway, anything else you want to touch before we go?
Maybe I could let Andy Reid. Maybe I could let Andy Reid slide there too, for the record.
I was going to say that Andy Reid should be at least in top 3. Cause I think what he did with Mahomes the first year is incredible. But yep. Yeah, to me, it's the order has to go. You know, obviously Nagy won it, and then Reich, and maybe Andy Reid, I guess, number 3.
Right.
So, there was some new. Actually, there's some other news I want to touch on before we go. Jason Garrett is a lame duck coach next year. Your thoughts?
I'm not believing Jason Garrett is going anywhere until I actually see him in the stands clapping instead of on the sidelines doing so.
Seriously, it's so bad, dude. It's so bad. What else I want to touch on before I let you? It's close to home for you because you cover the team. The Ryan Tannehill era in Miami coming to an end. Looks like it's coming to an end officially.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of that, if still the head coach, in my opinion, he should be, and that is no offense, by the way, to Brian Flores. I think the Flores hire is great. I love that the Dolphins have signed him to 5 years. And, you know, I was talking to Antoine Staley about it. The fact that this team is committed to an actual rebuild and not a quick fix, as with Philbin, as with Gase, is really the best sign. And you got a guy who's been with the Patriots organization. This isn't some flash in the pan hot name like Matt Patricia or anything like that. No, this is a guy that had been with the Patriots for 15 years and observed the culture turned around from, he wasn't there literally the year Belichick got in with it being 5-11, but he was there long enough to observe some Patriots struggles, to observe them missing the playoffs despite getting an 11-5 record, to observe them, Tom Brady going 10 straight years before returning to the promised land. And he was there to know not only what the highs are like, but some of the bumps when you are in an elite organization. And that's the kind of guy you need for culture change. Flores said everything. He sounded like, frankly, a less jaded Belichick in his opening press conference. He didn't say something trite and you know, an obvious quick thing to get out that they can have their soundbite and he can go home. He didn't say anything like, do your job, you know, which, you know, Bostonian fans found a way to still make a friggin' T-shirt out of that. Anyways.
We're still here.
He just said, oh, God, don't get me started with that lameness.
How do they do that? How do they somehow make themselves look the underdogs when they were actually the favorites to win the AFC last year?
Well, you know, to be honest, if I'm Tom Brady, I'm not, but if I were, and I heard, listen, people telling me I'm still old to play pickup football pisses me off. I can only imagine. In Brady's perspective, he's winning NFL games. He's winning NFL playoff games. And you got, you know, guys like your favorite Rob Barker declaring the Patriots all but dead in the AFC Championship game. Of course that cheeses you off. And that's not even talking about whatever trash talk he's engaged in during the game, because contrary to popular belief, your boy Brady talks some trash. You mad, bro? Anyways.
No, he's mad, but he also did the whole I'm the baddest MF on the planet. Somebody actually reported he screamed that one time like a couple weeks ago. and guess what? And guess what? Kyle, I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Did it sound like I had a problem with it? No. I didn't have a problem. Did you have a problem? I didn't have a problem with it.
No problem. No issues here.
I mean, listen, if there was something there to call out, you know I'd do it. But we can continue.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, when I put all that together, that's kind of where I come out, man. You know.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, still doing a report for the week. Kyle Nash. Hopefully we'll talk soon. We still have free agency to go. We still have there could be some big cuts coming from big players getting released from teams. Got the draft coming up. I mean, we still have other things we can talk about. Movies, Game of Thrones, all that coming up. So we got a lot of swinging reports coming up. A lot of swinging report podcasts to go in the off season to keep everybody entertained, if you will.
Hell yeah.
Yes. So go ahead and plug away.
Right, so of course you can find me, Kyle Nash, the student of the game, on Twitter at BSOTG, on Instagram as the same, BSOTG. Find me on Facebook as the student of the game. Check out my sports musings on sportsmediapass.com, product of BlueHQ Media. We still haven't heard back from the Orlando Apollos, but the plan is to cover them this year, so we'll see how that goes. Check out my Dolphins musings with the DolphinsWire of USA Today, where we will be continuing to ponder what the offense looks like when, I should say, Tannehill is passed on, because that's going to be really hard to determine until we know who the offensive coach is. Though, that being said, E.J. Christian, the skepticism is leaning towards your boy Joe Bob Cooter, a.k.a. Jim Caldwell, being the assistant coach, kind of like a Wade Phillips role, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Pats, I forget his name, but the Pats wide receiver coach coming in to be the OC in Miami.
Right.
So with all that in mind, I can't really comment on where the Dolphins are going to go until I have that in the building. But, hey, we'll leave all that at that. Listen, great times all the way around, EJ.
Mm-hmm. I
hope to see you sooner than later. And until next time, brother, class dismissed.